We're back.
So,
What's going on?
it's been 5 years, guys.
Jesus
30
Christ.
years.
We're back from the snap.
Feels like the snap.
Jason looks completely different.
Jason
The
looks
multiverse.
Jason looks crazy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jason.
Long overdue. If you guys don't know, the illustrious Mateo Berry has stepped in for the day.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
We have another Central American on the team.
Ooh, 2 for 2.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yes. Wow. It really has been like 5 years.
I don't remember how long it's been, but for a live episode.
Blip.
Blip.
It's been a real blip.
Yeah, it really has. We're back from the snap. Thriving. A lot more. We're in Julian's house. That's how we're doing this now.
Julian's lived in 4 places since we last recorded.
And one out of state.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been gone.
He was in Puerto Rico for 8 years.
Yeah, I'm glad. I mean, if everybody's watching this, which they are, and listening to this, it's good to be back. I know it's been a while, but I feel like what a more appropriate time to come back now that LA is finally opening up. So I feel this is like a good week for us to
Exactly.
sort of get back. This is technically episode 52.
That's a lot of
The
episodes.
last one we did was 51, so that's like the longest stretch we've gone in between episodes. Still season 4, so this is like the second episode of season 4.
We needed a little break, you know?
Yeah.
Shows took breaks too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. We needed to sort of not restructure, but just sort of like upgrade it a little bit. You know?
Exactly.
Korea didn't even have a second season yet.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So we're good. We're
If they
good.
can get a break, we can get a break.
So what's been going on? What have we missed? Like, we've missed a lot in terms of watching stuff. Today's episode, we're going to talk about Loki's first 2 episodes, but since our last episode, we've literally missed. I'm going to try to go off the top of my head.
Ooh.
Mandalorian.
Okay.
Well, we discussed The Boys then.
When you do
Mandalorian.
this, can you actually make the list and make it go really fast?
yeah, I'll do that. That'll be extra. So we got Mandalorian, which was amazing, like at the end of the year. WandaVision, Invincible,
Fantastic.
Snyder Cut. I know you love
the Snyder Cut. Yes,
The Snyder Cut.
yeah.
Not talking.
Which we're going to spend 0 to no time on.
That episode's only available in text messages.
Yeah.
And Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Yep.
and the Bad Batch, which is going on now, but we haven't really watched that all. So, and then now Loki, which we're going to talk about today. And we've missed a bunch of Eternals trailer, Shang-Chi. What else? Just
You guys have all seen it.
Yeah, exactly. Just very quickly, what did we think about everything? What did we think about The Mandalorian?
Great.
Great.
Amazing.
What did we think about WandaVision?
Pretty good.
Good.
Which by
Pretty
the way, I
good,
just
yeah.
remembered we had... Shit, I forgot. We had like when Clubhouse was a thing. We had a Clubhouse
Yeah,
episode.
we talked about it a little
Yeah, we
No,
talked about it on
no.
Clubhouse.
We don't need to talk about that. that didn't even really happen.
That was a phase.
Clubhouse was the multiverse. It was
Jesus
like-
Christ, that really was.
There was a world where we thought we were going to be in bubbles forever.
Yeah.
And we started connecting via this voice app. I don't know if you guys have been on it.
Doesn't matter.
And you'll never hear about it again. So
I
it's
definitely
fine.
came and went.
I have not been on
The
Clubhouse.
crazy thing is, at the time, we were like,
It was
this
the
is
thing.
it. Like,
Yeah.
no, but I don't know why my brain.
it was fun.
It was great,
When it
but
was
I
new?
still don't know why my brain didn't see how temporary it was. I was just like, oh, this is
Yeah.
new shit.
Yeah, I really
And
thought it
then-
was going to be the next thing.
Absolutely, I was like, yo, it's crazy. You don't get to hear people's voices anymore.
Yeah.
It's sprouting up a new
Yeah.
form of connection.
We
Soon as
thought we were stuck in the house forever.
Yo,
As soon
no,
as
seriously.
we opened the door back up, we were like, yo, text me. Why are you calling me? Like that.
No,
shit was-
even before that, I feel like Clubhouse had this like peak because it was like it felt like going to a party every single night.
yeah. I'm not gonna take credit, but I feel like amongst friends created Clubhouse.
Oh, for sure.
But you know what? Also, it started to get old because people were doing the same thing.
Oh my God,
over
moan
again.
rooms. We're not going to talk about
The
it.
game rooms
Yeah.
and people doing the same. Yeah.
Well, it kind of devolved into
freaky
like
rooms.
The freaky
like,
room.
yeah, it devolved into that.
Weird because you got to see. I'm not gonna name any names, but you got to see people you admired and celebrities and musicians or whatever, just like being super
God.
cringy and awkward, and just like, what would you do if I? I don't like none of that. I don't ever want to
I'm
hear.
unfortunately guilty of that. I was in some of those rooms, and I wasn't like acting. I wasn't wilding out, but I was just like, nobody knows me in this room. Yeah,
No, we're
yeah.
in there, but
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a chapter I'd like to close and not look back on.
I've been on it. I opened it recently, I think on accident, and every
Yeah, I
room.
think I saw a tumbleweed fly.
Yeah, no. You know what it looks like? No, you know what it looks like? The back of like a newspaper. It's just like here.
Just like classified.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It was like get 5 bitcoins if you like moan for 5 minutes. I don't know. Like it was weird.
Yeah, that shit is a page in the penny saver.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I took it off my phone. Honestly, I was like,
They changed the app icon to like a white lady now.
Well, they change it every time.
Yeah, but
So-
for a
so-
while it was like a black person or like a kind of racially ambiguous. Now it's like a white
It's
girl.
a whole thing. Like those are people on Clubhouse.
Oh, okay.
So certain.
so it might be you one day.
Yeah, it might be you. Certain
terrible.
people like if they because the homie Bomani was on it and he's the one who used to do the Cotton Club. So the black dude that you saw was the one who created the Cotton Club,
okay,
which
okay.
is a little jazz room.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he became the icon, and then someone else who did something substantial in there became the icon, and so on and so forth. So that's one of their things is that members become the icon.
It's funny seeing that Twitter and Facebook now have kind of tried to integrate that. Have you?
Oh,
did
for
you notice
sure.
it
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Twitter?
Twitter has it. Like Twitter
It's
Spaces.
like you didn't do your research because
Yeah.
I've never opened up one
Like
of those on
Facebook
Twitter.
has them. I'm pretty sure it's like a bunch of moms and stuff.
Yeah, definitely talking politics and
Yeah, it's all like politics
children,
and like
children
Bitcoin.
shopping.
estate sales,
yeah.
Yeah.
And cryptocurrency.
vintage bargain hunting.
Yeah. But yeah, that was definitely a chapter. But yeah, WandaVision, we did an episode on there. We tried to do it. It was actually great because we met a lot of people in those 2 episodes that we did.
Those when we were doing that for like we did like 3 episodes maybe.
We did
That was
2.
really good.
That was good.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like people were really knowledgeable, and like that's one thing that black women are some of the biggest nerds like that I've
That's
ever.
a weird sentence, but I feel you.
No, but
I
like,
agree
no,
with
but you know what I mean. Like the majority of the people that were really bringing in amazing theories were
For
like
sure.
majority were black women on those
Yeah.
rooms, and I was like, oh my god, like
And there's definitely not enough space for them in this
that's
space.
that's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
get at.
yeah.
There's not enough space for that, and that should definitely be a thing.
That should definitely
Yeah.
be carved out more.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should reach back to some of the people that were engaging.
Yeah,
and try to get them on the show.
Yeah,
'Cause
seriously,
they knew way more than I did.
Yeah,
there
they
was a
were.
lot
They
of,
were doing like shows every
when we were
week.
talking about like Mephisto theories and
Yeah.
shit. Like they were going crazy.
They were going deep, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't even think of that.
But back to what you were saying though, like WandaVision I liked.
Yeah,
I know you're going to get into Falcon too, but my reoccurring problem with both of them is like I feel like the finales how it kind of falls short. But as a whole,
yeah.
I like them as a
Yeah.
The finale of WandaVision, you felt it fell
little
short.
bit.
You know, it's kind of funny. Because there was 2 things. Like I already knew that it was just going to lead directly into Doctor Strange, and because they said it was only going to be a one-off, I didn't really put too much like weight on how it was going to end, because I was like, well, I know this is just going to leave me on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
What I didn't expect was them to leave, what's her name, Agatha, kind of stuck in that town, which was surprising. Which
Yeah.
they're like, oh, okay, we're gonna bring her back down the line, but this is what we're gonna do for now.
Well, yeah, I figured they wouldn't
Yeah.
kill her. She plays a part in the comics.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the final battle between the 2 visions was essentially a podcast.
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
lame.
It was a discussion.
So lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
And
It was a
then,
weird,
so yeah, so we had
like,
WandaVision, which was great. What is the other one I said? Invincible.
Invincible is fantastic.
That is the Amazon cartoon.
Super violent.
You know
Steven,
it is.
you-
You've been
Yeah,
telling
yeah.
me to
Oh,
watch
yes,
it.
that was
Yeah.
fire.
Oh my
that
God.
was
Yeah, that was
really,
great.
really
I was
good.
so surprised.
You're all welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did put me on that. That was good.
That was a really good show.
Yeah.
I had never read it. I had never
Me either.
knew anything about it, and it's funny because I saw it and I was like, oh, this is gonna be like kind of, and then once it kind of takes that turn, and I don't want to I don't care if I want to spoil it. It just gets super violent, and you're like, oh shit, and it's really, really well written. It's really well done, and I think it's kind of reminiscent. It's a little. It's okay. It's a little reminiscent of The Boys, where it's like we think of these superhero situations where the people with powers have these like idealistic moral compasses. And as we know in the real world, like it doesn't always land like that. So I love exploring lots of power and very human value systems.
Well, you know, it also, I feel like it also put a test on the audience in terms of the violence, because I mean, I watch all kinds of anime with crazy violence. This cartoon violence literally made me like say, "Holy shit!" almost every time.
Yeah,
they really pushed the envelope of it.
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, you should definitely watch it.
And
I
you know what?
I watched a couple episodes. Like
You would like it because you're into One Punch Man.
Yeah,
And it reminded me a little bit of
It does. It does remember.
yeah, I've been meaning to watch it. I just haven't got started on it yet.
Yeah, but it was really dope.
Yeah, Invincible was great.
A lot of voices that I kept recognizing.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that voice cast, like, very, very
amazing. They really spend the money on that voice cast.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? Was Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I was gonna say
J. Jonah Jameson.
J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons. I wanted to say Jonah.
I was confused too. Yeah.
Because it shouldn't both be J.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. I'm trying
Yeah.
to figure shit out.
No, Stephen Yeun as the voice of Invisible
Yes.
was great. Like that, the three of them: Stephen Yeun, J.K. Simmons, and Sandra Oh.
Yeah.
And they had an old girl from Atlanta. She was
Zazie.
girlfriend of Zazie Beetz.
And then Seth Rogen with a
Seth
cameo,
Rogen.
which is great.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, great voice cast.
Yeah.
Great show.
Yeah,
Highly recommend.
I
if you
didn't
haven't.
know that comic series started at the same time as The Walking Dead. Like they both
Didn't
started
know
in
that
2003.
Didn't know that either.
I saw an interview with Robert Kirkman where he says like, yeah, like I was starting with The Walking Dead and I wanted to do a whole other series that was so different from it. So it's like they started at the same time. So I'm kind of, I'm glad that they kind of finally adapted this.
Yeah, no,
because I feel like it's one of the few ways you could. Because then if you make it into a real life thing, then it just becomes a little over.
I'm glad it was a cartoon instead of like another.
Yeah, I'm honestly,
No, it's good.
Just tighten this.
yeah, I'm a little tired of some of these. Like, if you can't afford to do a live action, don't do it.
Yeah,
Like,
like Jupiter's.
yeah,
Legacy.
like so you can't just cut the budget and just have bad hair and makeup. Like, if you like a live action show that is supernatural is an ambitious feat to start with. And then if you're gonna like cut corners, like make a cartoon, make it animated, do a podcast, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. But don't set out to do that if you're gonna half-ass it.
Right.
Which I thought Jupiter's Legacy was a good story. Like, it was,
I didn't even see that.
it was entertaining, but it was just so jarring that it was like fucking Power Ranger graphics.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, definitely.
That was I didn't know that was the first adaptation of the Millar universe or whatever, because I guess Netflix paid like a fucking shit ton of money for the rights to that universe.
Netflix has a lot of money.
yeah,
That's fine.
and that was the first adaptation of that.
I guess that's where all the budget for the
Right.
special effects.
Well, yeah, because I saw that I feel like one episode or like one season was like as much as like a Game of Thrones or something like that. It was like insane. It was like the budget was insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
somebody
Yeah.
Somebody pocketed the
somebody's laundering money through this
laundering money through Netflix shows.
For sure.
because that
You
shit
know what?
had a Rite Aid beard kit.
Yeah.
Pissing me off.
Yeah, I definitely caught that on the first episode. I remember we were sitting here watching. I was like, "Bro, did you see that?" I think he was like looking down on his phone or something. And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Bro, these graphics is weird." Like,
Well, just the wigs. What is it with Netflix and these weird wigs that I don't know what it is. Like it's just so noticeable because I saw the trailer with what's his name, Josh Duhamel, the long God beard. I mean, God
great
wig or whatever.
I mean, just have a different actor
Yeah.
and just have Josh Duhamel play the younger
Plays it,
one and have some old motherfucker play the old one. But like, you don't need to. I don't know. It's weird. It was
bad
very
makeup. A lot of bad
weird.
makeup.
It was a lot of bad makeup.
Another thing I forgot to add. There was Love, Death, and Robots that we missed also.
Incredible.
Fire.
Not as good as season one.
Not as good as season.
Not as long as it was like
Not as
it was
long
only
also.
8
Yeah, also
episodes.
not- yeah.
Not as
Season one
long.
was like 16,
But
or
it
something.
wasn't as memorable. Like I feel like season one, I could pick like 3 episodes that were like memorable.
I can too.
And I
this
feel like-
this one, I would say the one was maybe Mike's. That's the one
Mike's was surprising. I thought that was surprising. I didn't know that he was in it. The one that really kind of made me say wow was the one with the guy who like regenerates. It was like set on like a different planet or Mars or something.
My favorite was Baby Killer. I know that was kind of a fucked up
Oh, it's the one that looked like Blade Runner?
Yeah, where they were like they had to kill the kids and it was illegal
That's
to
crazy.
have kids.
Yeah.
That was so well
People
done.
lived for like 200 years or something.
People lived for hell long.
Yeah.
And there was like an underground society of people that still wanted to have kids because it was
Oh
illegal.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That was
dark.
my favorite
That
one.
was
It was
dark.
super dark, but a lot of, I mean, the way I look at it, I don't want to, it's hard for me to compare season 1 to season 2 because it's just episodes and like this stack of episodes can hang with those stack of episodes. So altogether, I think it was still very good.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like it felt like a continuation of the first season. Like it felt like, okay, we have these other extra episodes to add to season 1 and stuff. Yeah, but that was a good one.
Great.
The deluxe version.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Extended
deluxe
cut.
album.
So we had that. After that was what? Falcon Winter Soldier.
Again, it was funny is that was the show that I was most looking forward to.
You were.
Out of the Disney Plus shows, and I liked it up until the finale. I feel like it fell kind of short with the finale.
It was the one that surprised me the most because I think I said this off from the first episode. It was like it's the most realistic, at least in terms of like a mainstream superhero show, the most realistic because like first episode is like Falcon trying to get a bank loan.
Yeah.
And they're like telling him like, yeah, you don't have enough credit. It's like what? Like superheroes don't get
I'm an
paid?
Avenger.
That I actually liked. I'm like, oh, well, it's explaining how their funds are.
Yeah.
They don't get.
Well, that's the funny thing is like I remember like ages ago we had a topic about this like on the show, wondering if the Avengers got paid. When in WandaVision, when they revealed that Vision was the one who bought the property in Jersey, I was like, oh, okay, so Vision gets paid. So I thought, I was like, okay, all the superheroes get paid. And then they kind of like go to the next.
Vision probably could hack into Tony's bank account.
True.
Though, and just be like, look, bro,
Yeah.
like, don't say nothing.
Yeah, and then now they have Winter Soldier like, oh, yeah, but he doesn't get paid because he's not like
Yeah.
he's the B team Avenger.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it is messed up.
Fucked up.
Messed up.
Yeah.
And he was gone. He was wiped away for 5 years.
Yeah.
So it was like,
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I thought the show was cool to as a whole. Both Marvel shows were good as a whole. It's just I feel like they both kind of fell flat in the finale. Like with this one, I feel like the way they used a U.S. agent at the end, I didn't really care for it because they set him up to like really like
To be part of the team at the end.
maybe not even be part of the team, but like go break bad, and he did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end, he didn't do anything,
Yeah.
and then he just got the black suit, and he's like, "Oh,
I mean,
U.S. agent."
I mean, it's clear that they're definitely setting it up for what is it, the Thunderbolts, right?
they're either setting it up for the Thunderbolts or the Dark Avengers.
Okay.
One of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going to definitely end up being on that team.
So one of my things, and this is something that I had to like find out after the fact, like watching YouTube, but like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, her character. So like I had no idea about her history. I kind of wish they would have gotten into it a little bit more in the show as opposed to just like her popping in like for 2 episodes.
Well,
and then us trying to figure it out. I mean, the people who know, like you know.
But the thing is she's also supposed to show up in Black Widow. too.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I guess Black Widow would have come out before.
Exactly. Black Widow would have came out before,
Yeah.
so we would have knew more about her.
Okay.
Probably. But she's supposed to show up in Black Widow also.
Okay.
So I don't know
Okay.
exactly what she's doing.
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
seems like she's like helping set up whatever
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
other team
Yeah.
is going to be.
They definitely, I mean, that's one thing I've been liking about these 2 shows, well, these 3 shows now with Loki, is that, like, they literally are giving the space for these characters to, like, really stretch their legs with some of these scenes, you know?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it's just, like, it's not like 5 minutes of screen time. It's literally like, 6, 7 episodes for them to really, really show us who they are.
That is something. Just adding on. That's what I do like about these Disney Plus shows. Is you get to spend more time with characters that you only get like
Yeah.
a few minutes.
And I think this is one of the true testaments of like blurring the line between television and film.
Yeah.
Like this is as fluid as that's going to be, that relationship. Like we've always joked about like wanting Daredevil to be in the film or whatever, or wanting to use what's his name's Kingpin
Right.
on the film.
Right.
But like now we're getting like TV show Loki. Like,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right. Mattel, what'd you think of Winter Soldier? I heard you had a lot of opinions about it.
No, I liked
Mostly
it. I liked
cosmetic.
it, but yeah, same thing. Towards the end, I was like, huh?
What'd you think of the suit?
I didn't like the
You
suit.
don't like
Didn't like Captain America.
I'm gonna keep
Did
her.
not
I
like the suit.
No.
I didn't really care for the suit either. Like,
All the puffs.
yeah, it looked kind of
It does-
baggy
yeah, it
on
does
him.
look
a
kinda
little bit.
puffy.
I don't
Yeah.
know, but but I'm sure they'll fix it along the
Yeah.
way. But
I didn't
yeah,
like the ears.
Yeah.
That also the ears sticking
Yeah.
out. Like it works in the comics.
it works
but
on paper, but not.
it
Yeah.
doesn't
Not in real
really-
life, yeah. Mm-mm.
I saw the making of episode that they always put at the end.
Mm-hmm.
They had to literally CGI where like where the fabric folds.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a CGI that down because it was too puffy on it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because that I don't know what that is. That like headpiece that's been in every comic from Gambit to Cyclops to everyone.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. In the '90s, it was just that thing where it
Yeah.
was like hair out, but like
Hair out.
up close.
Yeah.
And that doesn't really work in person because
Well, now we know.
we move
Yeah.
our necks.
Yeah, exactly.
So this shit goes like that,
Yeah.
and it doesn't stick on.
Yeah. It's funny you just mentioned Gambit because I was like, oh yeah, now we know that his outfit from the 90s wouldn't even work in
It
real life
doesn't-
now because
it
now
doesn't
we have
make
an
any
example.
sense. It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
What's crazy is I liked the newer Falcon costume that he was wearing.
Yeah, I did too.
I thought it was dope. They had the more red. I thought that was tight. But then when he put on the cap suit, I was
Yeah.
I think my favorite part of that show was getting to spend more time with the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Like we don't. He's usually just quiet and looking sad
Yeah.
in all the movies. So
Sebastian Stan acted his ass
yeah,
off.
he really he was
Yeah.
dope in that.
Yeah.
Like the whole like him having the book and
And Wakanda too. That scene
and
in Wakanda.
Like yeah, that was
was a
really
good
dope.
scene,
Like
yeah.
I thought it was tight that we got to spend more time with Winter
Yeah.
Soldier in that.
I like that we did see him in Wakanda because I was wondering if we were going to go back to that, and I'm glad they established like his relationship with the Dora Milaje and why, like, how much they've helped him and like why he sort of is in the place that he is now, which
Right.
I thought was great. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that was good. What else? So we have that
Snyder cut. It was fine.
Snyder cut.
That's all.
Yeah.
All right, let's take some time to talk about the Snyder Cut. And is that good with you?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Moving on.
No, we're not really going to get into that. It was like I feel like we said enough of it amongst ourselves already, and I don't really want to regurgitate it.
Right.
Regurgitate
Yep.
it.
Regurgitate.
Yeah. It was just weird that all the ethnic people were cut out of the real movies. But anyway,
That was the biggest surprise, and like you have like I could tell now why Cyborg or whatever. What's this guy's name? The actor who plays Cyborg.
I can't remember. But, yeah.
God, that's terrible. We don't
yeah, it's
remember his
fucked
name.
up.
We're not good with names. We're not good with names.
Yeah. Anyway, Cyborg. It sucks that like now I understand why he was so pissed. I was like, yeah, you were about to make him a star with this one movie, and you just fuck up his whole come up
yeah,
by cutting
Yeah,
him out.
because he was in the Snyder cut. He was like one of the better.
Yeah.
parts, so.
yeah, he was great.
And not so much like the main character that he took away, but literally the thing that kind of brought everybody together.
yeah.
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 Yeah. But no, it was surprisingly well made, and the 4 hours kind of flew by.
Long as shit.
It was long. It was long, but it definitely
It
flew-
went by.
Yeah, it went by.
Went by. I would say it
wouldn't
was
say it
quick.
flew by. It didn't,
It
it
went
didn't
by.
Yeah.
zoom by.
If you would have cut out like half of those slow motion scenes in that movie, it would have been.
Yeah.
If you just played the movie in regular speed.
I mean, I
You
will
would
say
get there
this
on
though:
time.
it was the best sort of prequel for the Flash movie. Because now I'm excited for the Flash movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
moderately.
Yeah. Sort of. I mean, Michael Keaton's coming back, so
There you
that's
go.
exciting. So that's that. I mean, what else? I think that's it in terms of the stuff that we haven't really covered.
Any Mateo? Any shows that we've watched in the last year that you'd be like,
6 months.
yeah,
Yeah.
6 months.
You know what I'm gonna say?
What?
But, that's not 6 months. Has it been 6 months?
What?
What's
Mandalorian. We ain't talking about
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Oh, we haven't. We didn't talk about it.
Yeah,
Season 2 was
That's
great.
my language.
that was dope.
Season 2 was
Fire.
incredible.
What'd you think of the ending?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, now they did
I
a
needed
finale.
that.
They did a finale correct.
Finale.
Yeah.
They did a
Yeah.
finale correct. That's
Yeah.
how you do a finale.
I needed that considering all the damage that Disney has done for the past
Yeah.
3 or 4 movies.
Yeah.
I needed that. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, a little bit of redemption.
Yeah, I agree. They did that right.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, this might sound a little crazy, but I've always liked Star Wars, but I was never like fully locked in. This was probably my favorite Star Wars anything. Like I was always like kind of like a little bit behind the whole time. And I've never been able to see the whole universe. Like, I've never been able to see it clearly where I'm like, oh, that's the dude from this and that. I think it's just the 3 for 3 backwards thing. That's always like my brain, just my dyslexia particularly never clicked. This was the most like I was engaged in a Star Wars property.
Yeah. I feel like this was the... Go ahead.
But no, I was just going to say, I just like how they connected a lot of dots.
Yeah.
And brought different series and different movies and elements of all of them into one.
Yeah.
And it made it make sense still.
Yeah.
You know, like, because when I first heard about Mandalorian, I'm like, okay, so this is like a side story. Where's all these people going to be at? And then somehow they all
Everything lined
filtered in. And it was like
Everything
perfect.
lined up.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I feel like the way that they've sort of like you're saying, it's connecting a bunch of things. You're right. It's literally connecting. It's becoming the unifying thread with like the prequels, the Clone Wars, the actual main movies, and then like the sequels. Like they're literally kind of linking everything together in such a way with the series. And I feel like Star Wars as a series. I mean, Star Wars is a serialized kind of piece of media, but I feel like as episodic, I feel like this is the next phase, because we had 40 years worth of movies. Like, now what's the next evolution of it? And this is it. Yeah.
And just it goes to the testament of like television is kicking film's ass.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue to. Like there was an era where your goal was to get from TV to film, and then once you become a film actor, never look back.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you know, do you want
TV's
to
the way to
develop a fan base over 8 seasons that's going to never leave you?
Right.
That's going to rally for you to get roles and really have your back?
Right.
Or do you want to do a movie that we might not go to?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else? We didn't Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah.
Forgot about that.
Oh, man, we definitely forgot.
Forgot about that.
What'd you think?
I liked it.
I liked it too.
I liked it a lot. My whole thing with the whole Mortal Kombat, I was like, if Fast and Furious can be a thing.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the thing with Mortal Kombat. You have to let it be ridiculous.
Listen, you know what Mortal Kombat doesn't have though? Family.
True.
You have to let Mortal Kombat be ridiculous, and you'll be fine.
I had so much fun watching. I watched it like 3 times.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
The fatality's great. I was so mad when what's his name died.
Kung Lao.
Kung Lao.
Yeah, he was fire.
He was the dopest one.
Yeah.
My only complaint about Mortal Kombat is like I just really wanted to see the tournament, or at least a hint of the tournament.
But see, I think that's where I like that they didn't put the tournament in, because they could spread it out to like a couple movies. Like this is before the tournament.
Right.
Next movie is the tournament.
Right.
And then after that, you could do Mortal Kombat 2, 3, which is the invasion of Earth.
Yeah.
Right.
Because, Earth wins, and Shao Kahn's like, fuck that.
Fuck
the
y'all.
invasion.
Yeah, he's a sword loser.
So, like they could. I'm glad they didn't put the tournament yet. It's a good little spread.
Let it do 12 movies. I don't care. Like,
I was like, if we could have 10 Fast and Furious, we could have 10 Mortal Kombat
For sure.
There are
Go
so
nuts.
many characters they could just put in and kill.
put in and kill is great.
My favorite part of that was the whole intro with like the original Sub-Zero and the original Scorpion. I would have almost liked for that storyline to sort of run concurrently under the surface of the main movie and kind of see where why it led up to what we know.
And you know what's great? I love watching shows that I love, i.e. Warrior, grow and then end up casting everything. Because Warrior has filled up a lot and then now what's his name, the dude who plays the main guy, is going to be in the G.I. Joe film. And then Sub-Zero was out of Warrior, so if you sleep on Warrior, go back and watch that.
Sub-Zero was so tight in that movie.
Yeah,
That's
Sub-Zero
like my
good.
favorite Mortal Kombat character. He was fire.
absolutely.
Yeah. They made it look good. They made his powers look really good.
I was upset that there's so many characters they could put, but I'm upset they killed like Reptile. I'm like, they didn't have to kill him like that. Like he didn't even get to hit the ninja version.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I just feel like they get with Mortal Kombat, how ridiculous it is as a game already. They can bring anybody back.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, they could just be like, oh,
That was
Multiverse.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I thought it was really well made. It looked great.
they could bring him back as like a skeleton zombie version.
Well,
Like
I mean,
they've done that
with
before.
Reptile, that's a whole race, so it could be like, that was just one.
Oh, that was his cousin.
Yeah.
That's Leon the Reptile.
Yeah.
Kano was amazing in that movie. He
Kano
was
was
the
incredible.
best character in that.
So
Kano got the
funny.
best writer in that writer's room.
Yeah.
They were like, "Here, we're assigning you Kano."
1,000%.
They have to bring him back.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, he was
They
great.
have to bring him back. He was
Did he get the? He didn't get the plate in this one, did he?
He didn't. He just got scratched
Yeah,
up.
he's
and
gonna
then
get.
stabbed
He's
him.
definitely gonna get the plate.
They got to bring him back, and he
Yeah.
got to. Yeah, he.
I
Has
have a
to,
feeling they're gonna like dress him in like Mortal Kombat 1 outfit.
Yeah,
Kinda,
yeah.
get
Like the
that-
white?
Yeah.
And then Louis Tan did a great job.
Oh, he did.
That was a
He was-
great.
he was
That was a
dope.
great
Yeah.
friend of the show. That was a great vehicle for him to grow into the star we know he'll be.
yeah.
I really want them to expand his powers.
Yeah,
in
me
the
too.
next one. I definitely want to see that get expanded. What else did we miss? I feel like that's a good chunk of the show.
Fuck all that Loki.
Yeah, should we jump into Loki now?
Yeah, let's do
do
it.
it.
Fuck it, let's jump into Loki. So yeah, Loki sees episode 1 and 2. So episode 2 aired a few days ago. Mateo, what'd you think? Since you're
You saw episode 1.
I'm on episode 1.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it. I've watched it 3 times. Loved it. Great. Everything about it.
I know that Mateo was a big fan of
Rick and Morty.
Rick and
I know
Morty,
that's where you're going.
and
Okay.
the writers of this are from Rick and Morty.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
know.
So
I feel like they brought them in to help with the whole,
Yeah, multiverse.
different,
Yeah.
multiverse, different dimensions. Because
It's so
they
clever.
do very well on Rick and Morty.
It's
Yeah.
so clever. It's so well done, and I'm personally a huge fan of like that, like Mad Men, like employee propaganda cartoons, and like
yeah.
oh, it's so
That
good.
bureaucratic
yeah,
sort
the
of.
bureaucratic kind of
Yeah.
like. Go ahead.
You know, I was gonna say the thing. I know people were talking Rick and Morty or Doctor Who. Immediately, the first thing I thought when I watched that and they got into like the TVA was, I don't know if you guys remember this movie called A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
course.
Yeah.
Where it's like it shows that space is just this big bureaucratic mess.
Yeah.
That's literally what I
That's
thought
what
of.
it
Especially
feels
when they're
like.
like, these are all the words that you've said, and it's just like this stack of paper.
And
Yeah.
and I think it's such a testament to like growing up like on that style of animation, like Cartoon Network, Jetsons, like Flintstones.
Yeah.
Like it feels so good and it feels so nostalgic.
Yeah. That like 70s interior design.
Exactly,
It's
like little mid-century modern,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Orange.
great,
Yeah.
great orange, great lighting. I mean, set design is just out of this world.
Yeah.
Like for the TVA. That facility is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like how it's lit. Gugu is fine. I'm just gonna say that.
It was definitely a creative choice because, like, you would think that, like, okay, how do we create this sort of in between world type of thing? And most other creatives would be like, oh, let's make it all sleek and white and super like.
And I hate that.
Yeah, it's so boring. It dates it immediately.
Yep.
This, I feel like it makes it kind of timeless.
I feel like people need to let go of the idea that the future looks like an Apple store. Like we need different interpretations of the future. Like
Right.
the future is still going to have T-shirts.
Yeah.
Like there's things that aren't going to change.
Sure, for sure.
I think we might skip flying cars because it just seems
Yeah.
like a logistical nightmare.
You're right.
But we're in the future. Like
Yeah.
I was writing something for a project and I was trying to date it in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about Batman Beyond where their wallets were like digital whatever platforms and it would be like pay I can't remember their currency, but they were trying to pay you and they would just like touch wallets and it would transfer
Right.
money. And I was trying to write that into the script and the other person working with me was like, you mean like Apple Pay?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, like we're in the future.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's not futuristic anymore.
Yeah.
That's how I pay for coffee.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, we need different interpretations of how it can't just be Space Odyssey, Apple Store, or Blade Runner.
Right.
Like we need different variations of.
I was
Time.
thinking about that. Actually, I went to the mall like a week ago, and I was like walking around, and I had that sort of kind of out of body thing where you're kind of observing what's happening, and I was like, wow, we're in 2021. I pulled up in a 20-year-old Toyota. I'm in this mall. There's a touchscreen where people are like trying to find where they are. There's a little kid walking around with an iPad. I'm like, this is the future, like you
Yeah,
said.
it's
This is like
someone's
it's like a weird thing of the future where we're still using things from 30
There's
years ago.
so many properties that we look at as the future that I think as
My bad.
as kids that grew up at a certain time, we still think of as the future. But like Lost in Space, like so many things were dated before now, right? If you look back at certain Simpsons episodes that were set in the future. They were not in 2021. They were like in 2015 because
Yeah.
they were written in like 1991.
Right.
So this is pretty futuristic.
You know what I found interesting, and I'm gonna get to you, Julian, of what you think, but like, what I found interesting about the show, and they kind of touch on it in episode 2, Mateo, so we're not really spoiling too much, is that like because the TVA knows it has access to pretty much the entire spectrum of time, they go in and pick and choose their favorite things. Like there's a scene in episode 2 where like Owen. Is it Owen Wilson? It's Owen Wilson, right?
Sure.
Owen Wilson,
Yeah. Yes.
Hold on. Just don't want the doorbell to ring over your talking.
Who's here?
Our food. I just want to leave it sitting there.
I think they'll probably leave it at the
Time
door.
code.
I know.
By all means, you can spoil it because I've kind of.
You've seen
I
it.
was,
You
I was just in and out of
Oh, okay,
sleep.
okay.
I was just really tired.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I kind of know the gist of it. It was kind of just up and
No
down.
worries.
Okay. I think they just sat it down. Cool.
No, it's Amazon. I'm watching them on the camera.
You wanna
Yeah,
go?
he's just dropping it. No, we're
Okay,
good.
okay. I was gonna say, like in episode 2, like Owen Wilson's looking at a magazine about
Jet ski.
jet skis.
Yeah.
And he asks him like, why jet skis? And he's like, well, in the 90s it was this perfect thing. So it's like our current reality, it's like we're still using things that from 20 years ago,
For
15
sure.
years ago, because we like them and they function.
And think about jet skis are such a, even though they still exist and function today, they're such a quintessentially 90s thing. Like you picture them on some like Saved by the Bell shit.
Yeah.
And
even the colors that they
even
use
the
on them.
colors.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, it's funny, they don't even use those colors anymore.
Yeah.
But in your head,
Yeah.
it's like turquoise and purple,
Yeah.
like those cups.
Yeah.
Or like the seats on a rental car in
Right.
94. Like it looks
Right.
like little Doritos chips that are like
Right.
purple and orange.
Yeah.
Like that's how that'll always be like cognitively filed.
Right.
And I think it's interesting when you look at, because the TVA exists outside of time. So what does something look like when it's not linear? And that's a fun thought to tackle.
Right. Julian, what do you think?
I loved it. This is probably going to be the best
Yeah.
of the shows.
Yeah.
Of the Disney or the Marvel.
I feel like we say that about all the other shows.
say
I mean,
it.
they're going
say
in
They're
order.
kind of
They're
like
going in
outdoing
order.
each other.
Yeah,
in
they're
different
going
ways.
in order of good.
They're definitely outdoing each other, but I feel like they're gonna like really nail this one at the end.
Yeah.
And I like the fallout of this is this one. I mean, WandaVision, of course, like you were saying, it's gonna go into. There it is.
There's the doorbell.
WandaVision is going to go into like Doctor Strange, but this I feel like is going to be. I mean, this is going to go into Doctor Strange, but this is going to go into like just the whole Phase 4. Like this is going to touch into the whole multiverse madness, which they even said in the
Yeah.
first episode.
Yeah.
The
but-
multiverse war.
Yeah,
And I love
No,
the-
they literally said.
Oh,
The
they said-
multiverse
they used-
went into madness.
Oh, okay, okay.
They literally
Totally
said-
forgot
Which
about
I
that.
love the connections between WandaVision and this, because talking about like Nexus and talking about like what that means, and it really gave me more context to what Scarlet Witch even was during that time, being this like character that is in the intersection of all of these events.
But yeah, going off of what he was saying, it's gonna like this is what Phase 4 is gonna be. It's like they're going into multiverse completely. Like
Yeah.
I mentioned it like on past episodes, I think, but like we're gonna see like Secret Wars play out
Yeah.
through this. Like
Yeah.
they were literally saying that in the beginning when the little cartoon was like there was already a multiverse war,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then the timekeepers
Yeah.
fixed it and made one
Sacred time.
One sacred timeline.
exactly.
Yeah.
So like this, it's literally going to be another
Yeah.
war, which is going
Yeah.
to end up being Secret Wars.
Which is crazy because I remember very recently being like, is there a multiverse? And now we've literally seen like 12 Lokis
Right.
and all the interpretations of him. So it's so like we're off to the races.
It's kind of funny how like it's been. I feel like this is, like you said, it's going to blow the door wide open. Like I feel like they're getting to it, they're hinting at it, they're kind of like setting it up, and it's just like I know by the end of the season. I mean, I know I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it's like by the end of the season, I feel like things are going to be almost unrecognizable. You know, something interesting I found out, I saw even from episode 1 is that they're being very vague about, is it called the timekeepers, the people who set it up? Like they're making it really ominous. Like it's like, are these guys doing the right thing? Are they kind of like, are they hiding something? Like what is it? What are they protecting exactly? And I find that kind of interesting because
I think it's the scale that's so interesting, right? Because Loki and Thor and Odin are gods.
Yeah.
And then you step out of that and we have our own mythology, and every world kind of has its own thing.
Yeah.
And then it's almost like, and there's something above that, and there's something above that, and there's something above that. So now it's being branded as, well, this is the ultimate authority. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see that, like, it's a sham as well. But, and I think that's kind of like, what do the gods answer to? Like, and even that's what Loki's beef was, where he's just like, so you're just the ones who make this all up. Like, you're the ones who get to decide.
Yeah. I found like, you know what I found kind of interesting on this second episode was the conversation that Loki's having with Mobius in the cafeteria. It's kind of reminiscent of the conversations you have with like a friend on religion, because it's like, this is what you believe, and I believe this and this and this, and he's like, well, that's ridiculous. It's like, well, you believe he's like, who's your father? He's like, it was this person, and it's like, well, and he's like, and I'm a god. And he's like, well, that's what you believe, and it's ridiculous to some people. And it clicked on me. I was like, oh, this is like a religion conversation, almost.
For sure. And it's that's what the multiverse is. It's a multiverse of imagination, and it's if you can think it exists. That's the whole ethos of this whole world.
I have a theory about how this is going to help Marvel kind of do a soft reboot on things. I have I feel like after Secret Wars, we're going to have a totally new actor playing Iron Man, and he's going to be called Tony Stark, but it's going to be someone else from a multiverse.
Interesting.
I think it's going to be a soft reboot for characters that
we've already gotten all the juice out of.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but we're going to get a new version.
Yeah, Marvel's definitely trying to set itself up for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're bulletproof now.
Right.
Because just like once you go multiverse, you could do whatever you want.
Well, I mean, and they're pretty much retconning all their other movies that aren't Disney. Like now the excuse is it's a multiverse. Yeah. Like it's a perfect excuse because people always, like, I guess the common viewer, right, is like, well, didn't they just make this Spider-Man movie?
Yeah.
Like now it's just like, well, it's a multiverse, so it's valid there, and it's also valid here.
You're safe. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Because people's apprehensions to like getting caught up with that is like, well, I got to watch all of them. You know?
Like, no, not anymore.
Yeah.
And now what really opens the door is for truly standalone properties.
Absolutely.
Within a universe.
Right.
You can do whatever,
right,
and have it not be connected to anything,
right,
and then have a little hint of why it's just a different universe,
right?
Yeah, because I think like after maybe there's like maybe a few in Phase 4, but I feel like Marvel is completely done with origin films.
Oh yeah,
they're not doing origin films anymore after probably this phase. We got probably 2, which is what, Shang-Chi and the Eternals.
Yeah.
But I think after that we won't see another origin.
Yeah.
Right. Well, because not even Guardians was the origin film.
Exactly.
Like they just kind of threw them all together. And,
exactly.
Yeah.
Blade. Yeah, maybe Blade.
Blade's definitely not going to be an origin, though. I feel like it's just going to be like.
You think they're going to just run and gun with Blade?
I think so. I feel like they're going to add it to his backstory. I feel like this is kind of a funny reference, but I feel like they're going to go the Jack Sparrow route, where like you're finding out his backstory as the movie goes along.
Oh yeah, but that makes sense.
It's like he's a legend somehow, but then we're going to be finding out.
But you're explaining it through the story, not showing
exactly.
it. That makes sense.
Mattel, you're all caught up with all the Marvel movies, right?
Kinda.
He's like, hi.
For the most part.
I am happy to be here.
I am very happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm caught up, but I still find myself always asking questions. Julian knows.
Yeah.
He's always got to explain something to me.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
He's more into the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the Star Wars.
It should have been a Star Wars episode.
Yeah, what are you gonna
Talking
do?
my language.
Seriously. What else? So, I mean, let me see. Episode Episode 1. Okay, let's try to talk a little bit about episode 1 because there was things about that I loved about episode 1 that I really wanted to discuss. There's something about seeing Loki have a complete ego death in front of us in episode 1 that was somehow really refreshing to see. Because I mean, I've never done DMT. But from things that I read, it's like everything that he goes from the beginning of the episode to the end of the episode where he's entering this like unknown situation, and towards the end of it he's literally seeing his own death and kind of realizing like, oh, like he's pretty much experiencing an ego death.
Yeah.
And kind of realizing his true self. I thought that was such an interesting way of showing that kind of journey in the most sort of like straightforward
1000%.
You know what I mean? Like him having a conversation, actually literally watching his life on screen.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that, of like seeing 2012 Loki kind of see the rest of his life on screen?
I feel like that the whole conversation played out as like he was with a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
It was he was letting him have it.
It was like it was pretty much in therapy. It was a
Yeah,
therapy
he was
session.
like
therapized.
It was definitely like a therapy session. It
Yeah.
was- and Mobius was like literally letting him have it.
Yeah.
He was really telling him about himself.
Yeah.
Which
For sure.
was wild. But
Yeah.
I thought it was dope.
No,
Yeah.
I thought it was really dope.
The crazy thing about that is that he literally was like, I'm getting to know you in person, but I know everything about you already, which I find kind of interesting because he studied him essentially.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like on the line he says in episode 2 where he was like, I've studied everything you said. I've
Yeah.
Yeah.
literally stabbed everyone.
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because, again, when you think about the relationship of time, like, he can absorb or download Loki's life within a blip.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's such a weird way or a unconventional way to like get to know someone's story, and then you unpack it more as you meet him within your timeline. So it's been dope. What did you guys think of the reveal, like of
In which one? Episode 2?
of Lady Loki? Or
What do you think?
I mean, I kind of already knew that was coming.
Okay.
I kind of got spoiled by like them doing the photos.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of already saw that coming. And Lady Loki is a thing in the books.
Yeah.
So it's like, they made it where she doesn't look like
Yeah.
another Loki variant, which
I-
makes me think they're kind of blending two
I
different.
thought she was going to have dark hair like
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
I think what they're
Enchantress.
doing is they're blending two characters. They're blending the Enchantress character and Loki, because
Yeah.
even the power she was doing, where she was like
going from person to person.
body to body, like that's like an Enchantress type thing, like
Right.
influencing what they're doing a little bit.
Huh.
So yeah, I kind of think they're blending both those characters.
Right.
Do you think there's a significance to when Loki was explaining the difference between his power and how they interpreted it?
Oh, like when he was like, no, that's when he's like, no, when I project.
It's like illusion.
Yeah, I like that.
I feel like that's gonna come up somehow. Where like
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like that though, because it's like, I mean, in terms of just like observing it, it's like watching an athlete explain his
game.
His game. And it was done in such a way where he's like, oh, Loki just doesn't do shit on a whim. Like he knows exactly how he's doing it on a technical level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, even when he cleaned it or dried himself.
Dried
Yeah.
himself off.
By the way, that jacket is dope.
Yeah.
I'm loving that outfit
The
he has
variant
on.
jacket.
Yeah, that's a good outfit. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a Halloween costume for people.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Easy. For sure.
yeah.
No, but the reveal, I thought it was. I mean, it was cool.
You know what I found? The reveal for me that was surprising was the what she was doing, pretty much like dropping all those like chargers.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was more of a reveal than actually seeing.
Yeah,
her.
where she's
Yeah.
basically bombing the
Yeah.
The timeline.
the time what is it? What
The-
did they
the
keep calling
sacred
it? The
timeline.
sacred timeline. Yeah.
Well, the thing that was surprising for me is that it came sooner than I thought. Like I thought that whole crazy shit with the timeline splitting was going to happen later on in the series.
Well, no, I think now, because how many episodes is this? Is it 6, 7?
6 or 7, I think.
So yeah, now with this,
We get to clean it up.
I don't even know what to expect anymore.
Yeah.
yeah, now I think it's gonna just go off
Yeah.
off the wall.
Yeah.
Like literally, they're gonna be cleaning up stuff for like the next 5 episodes.
I love the idea of him hiding in apocalyptic situations.
That was so cool. Like
was
that
so
conversation
clever.
was really cool too.
You know, another thing that made me think like, okay, they're blaming this character. She didn't like being called Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She when she was in one of the bodies, he was like, "Don't call me that," or something.
Yeah.
And she was like, "You call me whatever,
Randy.
Randy." Yeah. So I'm like,
Randy.
I thought we were gonna see the Ragnarok battle again this episode too. I thought we were gonna like go see like from a different perspective that they were gonna show up and things were like happening in the background and stuff.
But that's what I love, the like logistical element to this. Like, it's like we got an actual death toll for Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Like we got, it's almost like there's like a file clerk happening behind the universe that's doing like administrative work. Like
Right.
that's such a fun concept.
do you guys think we're gonna see what's his name?
Oh no.
Oh my gosh,
Take your time.
Yeah.
Kang the Conqueror in this?
Yes.
Well, I
do.
feel like Kang's gonna be the new Mephisto for this one.
I always think of that Leonardo DiCaprio thing.
From Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
But
Yeah.
there's a lot of placement going on. Like
He's gonna be the next Mephisto. I feel like they're
Nah, man.
how they focus in on that middle timekeeper.
The middle timekeeper.
And he kind of
isn't
looks
she like his assistant in like the comics, like her
that's
character?
the girl?
The girl, Google.
Gugu.
Yeah.
So that's like his King's love interest.
Oh, okay.
It's also my love interest.
That's like that's Kang's love interest.
Yeah.
So we're kind of seeing an origin for her because every time like we're in a scene with her, it focuses in on this middle timekeeper,
Okay.
which kind of looks like what's his name, Jonathan Chambers.
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan
and,
Majors.
and when we were speculating on Mephisto, there is no Mephisto in the works.
Yeah.
When we're speculating on this, Jonathan Majors is cast to play him.
And
That's true. That is true.
The thing looks like
It looks like him.
it kind of looks like him.
Yeah. I've speaking of Mephisto, in the first episode when they're in the
devil?
church, and the little boy points at the devil, I was like, Mephisto.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what that is like he's saying a devil, which
Yeah,
because,
like
you know,
Loki and the
Loki
horn.
has
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
a horn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kang, I feel like we're gonna get a hint of him. I don't think we're gonna get Jonathan Majors in this season.
I don't think so either.
but I think we're gonna see like a hint of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think
Or a
they
name,
would.
maybe.
I don't think they would show it before the film.
No.
That,
Yeah, I don't
that-
think the
that doesn't make any sense.
yeah, true.
You know what I found interesting? Now that we're talking about like, you know, these timekeepers like observing and somebody observing the universe. I don't know anything about the Eternals, but like in the trailer for the Eternals, they're literally even say like we've been watching and never interfered.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if we're going to see any kind of connection or any kind of mention of the Eternals in this show, especially with, you know, it coming out this year and like we saw the trailer. I wonder if there's going to be any kind of connection with beings that have observed human existence or the timeline. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm curious about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to mention the Eternals.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think we're going to get any mention of the Eternals until the Eternals movie.
Yeah. Yeah. What else on episode 2? Oh, any Easter eggs or any other thoughts on the storyline?
I'm like Yusuf. From this point on, we're going to just see everything just go off the wall.
Yeah.
Like the next couple episodes is just going to be Loki and
Yeah.
Lady Loki running around, and we're going to see messed up timelines.
Yeah.
She just bombed.
You think he's just going to be chasing her, or you think he's going to try to like?
I don't think he's going to join her. I think he's going to be chasing
You think he for real is going to chase?
her. Yeah. I think he's going to chase her.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like he's just as curious as everybody else. I don't feel like I feel like this is the first time he's ever really been way too far out of his element, that he's just like, oh shit, I actually have to play by the rules and figure this shit out.
Well, to be stripped of your powers is kind of a very humbling
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah,
But
it doesn't have to-
And seeing your death, too.
But to be fair, he still was able to like escape. Like when he took the time collar thing, and so he still. I think the cleverness is his true power, but once he got away from the girl from Lovecraft, who's also great in the show,
oh yeah, she's fantastic.
once he got away from her, like it was almost like, well, where do I even want to go?
Yeah.
And I think that's what was so interesting about like when you just come back and catch him watching scenes from his life. But now at the end of this, you see him escape once again.
Yeah.
So it's almost like he never even needed those powers.
Right.
Well, no, because plan is to take over the time variance authority because he thinks that is the most powerful.
Do you think that that's what he really wants, or is that what he's just saying? Because that seems like such a vague goal.
I mean, that's what Mobius said. He was like, "All right, you're going to take us over. Then what?"
Yeah,
like,
true.
He was joking. It was like, "All right, then you're going to be master of the universe. All right, what's next on?"
And that's why I love the casting of Owen Wilson. For this, because
he's good.
He's like ooh, like he's very. It's such a good vehicle.
He hasn't said wow yet. Wow.
He's such a good vehicle to like call bullshit on stuff.
He definitely elevates the show because I was like watching when I was watching episode 2, and they're like having that scene. I think they're like in a hallway or something. Even the way it's shot, I'm like, oh, this is like feels like a movie. Like the way that he elevates just the scene and the way everything looks, it actually feels like really high quality.
Yeah.
What they're putting out, and he's acting his ass off in it too. So that's fantastic. Do you think so? That was another thing I was curious. The connection between Mobius and Gugu's character. There seems to be like a history there, not just like a coworker thing.
No. It definitely feels like there was a thing.
Yeah.
There's a part in that scene in the office that I noticed too, is when there's something going on with either she's hiding something because Mobius started talking about that statue of the timekeeper and she like cut him off. Like he was like, "Oh, stop talking about that."
Yeah.
So like there might be like because you were going into like how we're gonna the timekeeper thing's gonna get stripped away and it's gonna be like some Great and Powerful Oz type.
Yeah, Great and Powerful Oz, exactly.
So I think maybe King is like really he made up the timekeepers and he's really controlling.
And to be fair, like she's the only one that we've seen or heard of being able to contact them.
Exactly.
It does have, now that you said Oz, like it definitely has like an Oz vibe to it.
Like a behind the curtain vibe.
Yeah, because there's like too much control, too much propaganda, too many like workers.
Yeah, exactly.
Just kind of doing a lot of busy work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And she was like even in the first episode, she's like, "Well, where are the timekeepers? Oh, they're fixing things like
Right.
it's supposed to be." Like,
Right.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see. We'll see.
Either way, it's a fantastic start, and I definitely agree that it's probably going to be my favorite out of these first 3.
Right. Mateo, are you excited to continue watching it?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
You got it.
I really do like it. I didn't know what to expect when I heard. I think even when Julian was bringing it up, he's like Loki. I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I sat down and watched the first episode. I was like, yo, this is probably the most fire one. It's got me like super interested. You know, like I just happened to be tired on the second episode.
Even the music is very
The music is good.
And the music is film level. Like, even the certain like violin scores when he was like
the violin scores give me like real Game of Thrones
Mm-hmm.
vibes. But then like the other music
good
in it
way.
gives me what's
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Well, I feel like the violins have that classic feel to it because he's Asgardian. So you have to kind of go back to Asgard and kind of have those elements interwoven in there. Yeah. I'm excited to see like because after every season there's like a behind the scenes thing, and the behind the scenes things is great because it just shows you just how much work went into it from the writing and the creative process. Like I'm excited to see their creative process for this one because the designs of everything are just fantastic.
The design is gorgeous,
and we still have so much more to see, which I'm like.
I mean, this is the first time we've ever done an episode on something that's 2 episodes in.
Yeah.
So it's giving us a lot.
I know we're gonna wrap up in a second.
We are,
but also I watched the Mighty Duck show and I enjoyed it.
Really? Is it finished?
Yeah, it's done.
Okay, I need to like watch it.
It's very kiddish, but
Yeah.
I'm a Mighty Ducks fan.
Yeah. No, I haven't watched it, but I will.
Yeah, I need to watch it too. It has a target audience, so I'll definitely watch it. Okay, that's good.
You're the
Julian.
Big ass kid.
Sure.
Nostalgia.
Big ass kid. Okay, I think that wraps it up for. I know it's our first episode back, so we're just getting back into the group of it. So I'm kind of glad that we kind of did this. We're going to do this every week. We're going to be consistent because we're back.
We're back.
We're back. So
I'm Jason.
Next week we're going to discuss episode 3 of Loki and have a bit more to talk about. Who knows what the next multiverse Jason will look like?
Exactly, could be anybody.
But yeah. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You know where to find us. Thanks, Mateo, for joining.
Thanks for having me,
Appreciate
guys.
it. We'll try to bring you in for more. We're going to try to talk about more Star Wars next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, bring me in.
Yeah, because I know
Gotcha.
the Bad
Got a lot
Batch is
of
happening right
information.
now, which we need.
Gotcha.
I need to get caught up in that. So
So do I.
yeah. All right, I think we're good.
Thanks, guys.